they have to acquire another safety.
Yeah, I'm just out here chaperoning. So, I'm here at the school dance, making sure everything's in order and going proper. So.
It's going to be different, you know, in year two, and you know, I'm gonna have to be more of a vocal guy in our room.
You know, younger me wouldn't have handled that very well. He's bigger than me at the end of the day.
I know every game's going to be easy once you go versus this offensive line.
Give me some respect right now.
Lane, that surprised me. Should have been one. Nah, should have been one long time, but maybe the 99 clip now.
Dang! Chain and all.
Yes, sir. Fourth Eagle, all time.
That is awesome.
Yeah, sure. Congrats, brother. Thank you, brother. So, how does it feel to be part of 99 Club?
Still got some more to go. Nah, this is a blessing. Thank y'all to all that donated or made this possible.
Yo, what's going on? My birds, what's up? This is Rodney McLeod, Super Bowl 52 champ. We out here at training camp. It's a great day, first day of pads. Click, clack. I'm signing out.
How old were you when you signed your first autograph?
How old was I? I think I was probably like 16.
You practice it? Let me see it.
Yeah. JC with the number. A little traditional.
Okay, so year 13.
Yeah, I'm just out here chaperoning. So I'm here at the school dance, making sure everything's in order and going proper. So
Did they call you Ankh in the locker room?
no, they just call me Baldy. So
Okay.
Doesn't this make you hot on a day like today?
well, once it gets wet, then it's cool. So
Interesting.
It's like a cooling system.
yeah, it's my own cooling system.
What's going on, everybody? Day 4 of Eagles training camp in the books. It was a hot one, the hottest day of camp so far. But man, I thought Quinyon Mitchell had an unbelievable day of practice today. And I know sometimes he doesn't get all the publicity. Cooper DeJean gets talked about a lot. Quinyon's a quiet guy, not a social media guy. But you look at him out on the field, and I think sometimes we take for granted how good he is already. So today during practice, he is covering A.J. Brown, man coverage, 11 on 11, down the sideline. The pass is underthrown by Jalen, but Quinyon turns around, comes away with the interception, tipped it to get control of it, and starts to run the other way. Later on in practice, in a 7-on-7 drill, Quinyon was matched up with A.J. Brown, and Jalen wanted to go to him. He looked at A.J., but he had to go a different way because the coverage was so good. And what's impressive about what Quinyon's done so far is he's doing it on both sides of the field. Last year, he only played on one side. Still a super impressive year, but
that's a wrap for day 4 of Eagles training camp. As you can tell, it is a hot one out here. On the injury front, Jalen Carter was back on the practice field. That is great news. There was no Drew Makuba with a shoulder, no Devonta Smith with back stiffness, but it seems like that's just precautionary, nothing to worry about. But some observations. I love how much this team spends on ball control. They started the practice doing ball protection drills on offense. They were doing fumble drills on defense. Love how much they focus on it. Some other observations. You look at the one-on-ones. A.J. Brown versus Quinyon is must-watch TV. Quinyon is usually blanket coverage, doesn't matter. A.J. Brown is so hard to guard. But when they went to team drills for the 4th practice in a row, Adoree Jackson was the starting cornerback. Doesn't look like it's Keely Ringo's job right now. I think he's going to have an uphill battle to try to get it. But it looks like it's Adoree Jackson's job. Jeremiah Trotter still starting at linebacker next to Zach Bond, although Jahad Campbell is mixing in. No Devonta Smith today, so you saw a lot of Aniyah Smith with the ones alongside Jahan Dotson and A.J. Brown. I like that. Aniyah Smith is my training camp darling that I'm picking fans' favorite. Another interesting thing today, when you looked at Cooper DeJean at safety, a guy that they were mixing in when they went to dime, 5th-round rookie Mac McWilliams. I think they're high on this guy. So we'll see how it all plays out. You can hear even more observations today at 2 o'clock. My man Andrew DeCecco will also be joining us at 4:25. Talk to you soon.
Day 4 of Eagles training camp. The shoulder pads were on. It was sweltering outside, and the defense was hot too. Quinyon Mitchell had his first interception of the summer. A deep ball from Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown, a bit underthrown. Quinyon Mitchell made the play on the ball. Remember, Quinyon Mitchell's first interception did not come until the playoffs last year. This is a part of his game that's developing. He continued a strong summer with tight coverage throughout practice. The defense was strong all day. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., he got his hand on the ball. Moro Ojomo continues to penetrate the line of scrimmage, was disruptive against Jalen Hurts. Not a great day from the offense. They were playing without Devonta Smith. He was out with back tightness. Andrew Makuba, the Eagles' rookie safety, he was also out with a shoulder injury. Good news for the Eagles, Jalen Carter was back on a limited basis. Look for him to practice more as the week goes on. For all your coverage, watch the PHLY Eagles Show and allphly.com.
They have to acquire another safety.
Whether it's sign or trade.
I think going into the season with this group of safeties, unless you're going to move Cooper to safety full-time, which that's a different discussion, but if their plan as currently stated, is to play Cooper when they're in base, which will be basically never, and in nickel have someone else at safety, then I think they're doing the team a disservice going into the year with this group. Could Sidney Brown be great? Yes. Could Makuba be great? Yes. Even if you're hoping that, how do you not have a better safety net than Tristan McCullum and Andre Sam? Makuba and Sidney Brown have never played a full season at safety. They have got to go acquire somebody that is a base level, competent NFL safety. And so this way, if Makuba and Sidney Brown don't work out, you at least have somebody to put in there. I'm not saying go out
Dory Jackson of safeties.
Yeah, so, yeah, someone like that. Maybe a little better than Dory. But yes, I'm not saying go out and give out a first-round pick for some 26-year-old stud safety. I'm saying they need to get somebody that's competent.
Like a Justin Simmons.
Yeah, like Justin Simmons.
He knows the defense. He knows Fangio.
He's just waiting around laughing.
Yeah, he's waiting.
Well, after practice is always where you get the best moments.
And even with the heat today was no different as Saquon Barkley met with the Floyd family of Philadelphia.
Go Birds!
Now, how cute is 3-year-old Cherish Floyd, all right? Cherish and her dad, Corey, got the chance to meet Saquon Barkley after practice today, and they even spent time with Bird standout Jalen Carter. Certainly a day this Philly family won't forget.
He's just a great guy. I felt his energy. Awesome dude. Like I said before, glad that he came to the Eagles. He didn't make a bad decision. He's awesome.
Yeah, and you can see that photo, too. After Saquon signed it, he and Cherish were jumping for joy, a special moment this Philly family will remember for a very long time.
That was horrible. Okay.
How'd you do? Want to try again?
Yeah.
Better.
Oh.
Okay. That's awesome.
A little quick, but about my 40 time. 2? Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Can I get another shot?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, that's okay.
Dude. A little early.
Oh my.
Better.
I'll take it.
That was pretty good. That was good.
Bro, that's 3. Dude, that's not even close. Oh.
Impressive that it's right on the dot, but a second over.
Okay. That was horrible. Oh my gosh.
Better?
No, I mean, I'm counting really fast apparently. Try
Okay.
one more time. All right. Better. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Oh, that's pretty close.
That was pretty good.
How would you assess how camp is going for you this year as opposed to maybe your previous 2 seasons?
Yeah, I think just starting out, having more reps than I'm used to, and getting acclimated to that and kind of just getting used to being on the field more.
What did you learn from a player like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis on just perfecting your craft and how to rush passes?
Everything. I think that your ability to learn from people is the best, and I've picked up a ton from both of those guys. And, we have so many amazing players in each position group, and it's a really cool place to be just because of that. Young guys all around.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from Carter so far?
He's smart, I don't know whether guys realize it, but a lot of things he does are very thoughtful, very instinctual. His ability to use his power, use his finesse, his ability to kind of see plays. And, when you see those superhuman plays, he's seeing something on the field, right?
You talked about those extra reps. How big is today? A day like today, it's hot. You got shoulder pads, not full pads, but how does that help?
You're just getting used to the sun, getting used to the pads. You know what I mean? You got to get better first day of pads.
Were you expecting these extra reps coming into camp? Did they tell you in the offseason to get ready for a heavier workload?
I would say so. Yeah.
Any differently? How did you prepare?
No, I think the biggest key for this team this year is just to evolve, right? And I think that's what you have to do in life. Never stay the same.
Where do you feel your biggest improvement was from last year to this year?
Just playing the game fast and understanding what the offense is giving you. Taking opportunities.
Extra reps for you this year?
100%, right? That's kind of the way of the way the Eagles have gone, right? Hargrave was gone, Milt stepped into that. Milt is gone, and now I'm getting an opportunity.
How much confidence does the way you ended last season give you as you do, kind of assess if you're ready for that part of your role?
It gives me all the confidence. It also gives me confidence to go versus the best offensive line here. A lot of guys don't get to ramp up into training camp and deal with this. I know every game's going to be easy once you go versus this offensive line. Steen has got incredible talent, and I know he's hungry, and he's high tides raise all ships, right? He's got Pro Bowlers, multi-year guys next to him. He's gonna be ready.
You talked about the lineage of guys leaving, the next guy kind of steps up. As a young player in this building, how much did that kind of show you the route that could be there for you?
Showed me everything. Keep your head down and kind of wait your turn. At the end of the day, this is a talented organization, right? And just keep working, and things will work out for you.
When you walk off the field there, I guess what was his message to you?
Lane is a football junkie, and when you have a guy like that, you ask him tons of things. We had a rep today where I think earlier, one day ago, I did something and it worked on him, and today he changed it and it didn't work on him, and we were just kind of, messing around with that, and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah, I saw you have been working a little bit on the edge. Is that something you've done much in your career, and what do you like about the edge?
Not really. I think the more you can do, the better, and I think that's the kind of goal for us as a defense. Like I said, evolve.
Jordan admitted he lost 26 pounds. What have you seen from him this year versus last year?
Everything, man. I mean, Jordan's working his butt off. It's that room, the competition in that room, the accountability in that room. I'm so excited for the steps he's going to take this year.
Moro, were there more line games today, like in back out there than normal first few days?
Maybe a little bit. We're in pads, trying to see stuff and kind of just see what it goes on.
The athletes that you guys have, you feel like that's one of your, as a team, biggest strengths?
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to improve in all facets, and we look at it, and I don't think we ran much games last year, so maybe we want to incorporate that a little bit more this year.
Either of these practices, what advice can you give a young player like Ty Robinson when you're working with him?
Man, it's a grown man sport. We're here to compete, and we're here to get better. We're here to raise the level, right? No one's worried about last year, right? Everybody's worried about this year. So it's, at the end of the day, it's a competition, right? So keep going, Ty, as I'm going to chase the person in front of me.
All right, okay.
It was great, man. It's a great place to be, and we've got tons of Nigerians in the league, and it was really cool.
What was this offseason like for you?
It was great, but it was short, and rightfully so. Hungry, like I said, obsessed with evolving. That's my mindset. Just always getting better, always taking a step forward, improving.
You just talked about in the past how you're a little different defensive tackle, a little lighter than maybe most. How do you use that to your advantage?
I use it in many ways. I think I strike like I'm big, and I move like I'm small.
You said you're obsessed with offense. What is that evolution of play in terms of you as a passer?
I think focusing on some go-to moves, and you want pass rush to get to the point where you're not thinking. It's fluid. It's almost deja vu. I've done this 100,000 times, and I'm going to do 100,000 more.
Hey, did you go to OLINE Masterminds?
No, I didn't.
Cam, how's the back feel? These first few days of camp, you're still limited. How's that feel?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, last thing I had after the season was surgery, so didn't get to do much in OTA. So right now it's just a time to get back into football and see how it's feeling. And, it's going good, but, with every injury, you got to progress slowly and get back to where you want to be. It's feeling good so far.
Have you at all had perspective on going into the NFC Championship game and the physical pain that you were in, the condition that you were in, and kind of what it took to play as you played?
Yeah, it just felt impossible physically all week for most of the playoffs, and it's just got to mentally will yourself to say you're good, keep going, press on, get through it. It helps when you're going through, and everybody else is dealing with stuff, and you got to be there for the guys, and that's just the name of the game.
Most pain you've ever had in a game? Most pain you've ever played with?
Yeah.
Cam, you've been next to Tyler Steen throughout this all season. How do you think he's acclimating himself at right guard?
He's doing good. Yeah, he's taking strides. He's getting a lot better. He's being, a lot more accountable. He's got so much talent. We're starting to see it. Anybody over here?
I'm just going to ask you the same thing, yes.
Yeah, you're just talking for Singleton, and he said, though, seeing the same homework, and he doesn't believe this question. Do you see that when you're seeing your Eagles?
I think he had a good season last year. I'd be happy with that one again. So we'll see.
You've seen Moro now for a few years. How much has he improved?
A lot, a lot. He works just as hard as anybody on this team and puts a lot of effort in, and not just in the weight room, but just on the field. I mean, he puts in a lot of time, and he was kind of like a little pest to deal with his first year here. He just worked and played so hard, and now he's got a lot of those tools, and he's a lot stronger than he was, and just talking from Fletch and BG and learning from them guys, like all those little tips and tricks, and he's tough to go against now, really tough.
Looks like the defense is this year. It seems like it's more chaos out there. They're really pushing you. Did you talk about that? Well, it just seems like they're locked in on causing enough chaos for you guys.
Yeah, well, every team does it a little differently. A lot of teams will try to install certain things for the week. And so first week of practice, you're going to have a few plays you're running, and every week you're going to install more. Same thing with defense. But here, our defense just has everything installed for first practice, and we are slowly getting all our stuff in. Yeah, so they got a lot more in. So, it should be a lot more chaotic for them. They got their whole playbook in, and, we're practice 4. We got a long ways to get our stuff installed yet.
That's good for you guys, right?
What's that?
That's obviously good for you.
Yeah, it is good. We're running plays into looks that we shouldn't be because, that's just what we have in right now. So it's great for us, mentally and physically, because we got to make plays work. We got to make some different calls and do a different blocking scheme and just, make bad plays work. That's what we're doing right now.
Got against Jordan Davis a good amount over the last few years, I guess. Is it as different to go against him this year as he looks?
I'm still getting limited reps right now, but he's doing a good job so far. First day with pads, so it's hard to tell just from one practice. I don't really count any of the practices without pads. They're fake. It's not football. 7-on-7 doesn't matter. Stop tweeting about stats or whatnot. It doesn't matter.
Have you guys collectively, what's it like to collectively challenge each other to get better and better and better? Is there a lot of talk about that, or does it just come kind of, naturally?
I think it comes naturally. I think it just comes from, the level and standard being so high that you just don't want to let people down. And, when you got a close bond to the guys in the room like you do and you care about them, you just don't want to let them down. I think that's kind of where it's at.
Okay, you mentioned the limited reps. So Drew Kendall's getting some looks there. How do you feel he's acclimating or just kind of Drew Kendall?
Oh, good. I think mentally he's doing a really good job of picking things up and playing at his speed. It's been good so far. See how the day went, but I like him. He's a good dude. Good.
Thanks, Cam.
So this time last year, we were still in Washington. How big we can have spring practices, whole off-season, training camp from the start, have that whole body work?
Yeah, it's huge. Coming in last year, I think I got here the Friday before the last preseason game. So, it was kind of playing catch-up all year, learning the offense on the fly. But, this year, being that I was able to be with the guys, all OTAs, all training camp, it's a good feeling. And it helps me learn the offense and just play faster.
In your mind, when do you feel you caught up to everything after the whirlwind of last season?
Last year was just it was a big learning process for me with learning the offense, learning how things work around here, being introduced to a new organization. But I felt like I picked up on it real fast. Coach Sirianni is really good with explaining what exactly he wants you to do, what he demands from your players. He made it really easy for me. Extra time with Amo was really good for me. So I picked up on it real fast, and I feel like I have a good beat on it now.
How much does Amo help you?
What do you bring to the receiver? You got the offense that AJ. You coming out of Penn State, that's what I guess is the same. Your strengths year to year. What do you bring to the team?
Yeah, I would say some versatility for sure. I'm kind of the guy who can pretty much play everywhere. Going back to me coming in late last year and kind of learning the offense on the fly and not missing a beat. That was a big thing for me. So, I feel like I'm a guy who you can throw me in anywhere, X, Y, Z, F, and, I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to make it happen. And that's what, the team has kind of looked to me for, being kind of a spark plug when we need to play. I'm going to make the most of my opportunities when they come my way.
How do you feel your chemistry with Jalen Hurts has improved, obviously, since last year, but even this offseason camp, how do you feel that's improved?
Yeah, it's improved tremendously. Having the whole OTAs with him, training camp, I was down in Houston throwing with him a couple times, so, it's been big for me, just gaining that trust for him. Him knowing exactly where I'm going to be on certain routes, and kind of getting the familiarity with each other. It's been real good. We've been building a connection during this offseason, and looking forward to taking it into the season.
How did those throwing sessions in Houston, how did that come to be? Did he invite you down? Were you just in the same place?
Yeah, I was actually down there training with a former teammate of mine at Penn State, Parker Washington, and obviously that's where Jalen's from. And I hit him out, told him I was in the area, and we connected pretty much every week. So it was real good just to be around him and get with him and build that trust.
The way you ended last season, like regular season and playoffs,
What was that?
The way you ended last season, in regular season, obviously, then into the playoffs, you had a big catch in the Super Bowl. How much do you think that momentum can kind of carry over for you into this season as far as,
I mean, as much as I wanted to. It's up to me to produce. It's up to me to really, come out here every day and make it happen. I felt like last year, I was picking up along the way, and it really showed later in the season as I was gaining more trust with Jalen, becoming very familiar with the offense. It's up to me. I've been here whole OTAs, training camp, so I have no excuse this year. So, I'm going to make it happen whenever my opportunity is called upon.
With all that time that you had, in the OTAs, the offseason now, how much do you feel free to have input with, Kevin Petula, others in the coaching staff that maybe you didn't have before?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to them. I talk to the guys a lot, Amo, KP. But, it's their offense at the end of the day. It's my job to do my job to the best of my ability. And that's what I'm going to do every time I'm on the field. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, be where I'm supposed to be, and make the plays that I'm supposed to make.
I think that there were stretches last year when we could have targeted like 3, 4, 5 games. You always stay positive when you talk to you. You never see you down. How do you get through that, navigate that period?
Yeah, younger me wouldn't have handled that very well. Being a receiver, obviously everyone wants the ball. That's just a part of who we are. But it's bigger than me at the end of the day. I got a family to feed. I got to, whatever's asked upon me, whether that's coming in, running a clear out route, whether that's catching a bubble screen. And if that's going to be my only target today, that's going to be my only target today. But, I gotta make the most of it. Being in this offense with a bunch of very high caliber offensive players, you got to make the most of your opportunities. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm asked upon to do here. That's what's going to happen.
What are your thoughts about not having a fifth-year option picked up?
I kind of knew that was going to happen coming into a new situation. But you got to earn it every year you come out here. Nothing's guaranteed. And that's what I'm going to do. Every day I come out here, I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to work. And I'm going to make it happen.
Does that change your thought process now and during what we described as a contract year?
No, not at all. Every time I step on this field, I do what I'm supposed to do. I make sure I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be. And I keep saying I'm going to make it happen, but that's what I'm asked to do, so I'm going to do that.
You made that big catch at the very beginning of the Super Bowl, and even though it was full night, that set the tone for the entire game. That had to make you feel good.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a good feeling. All the hard work, putting in all year to come up in those moments, kind of the biggest moments you ever think about as a player. It was definitely a pretty cool opportunity I got. We were working on that play all week, and when Jalen came in the huddle and said my name, I knew it was go time, and I knew I had to make a play for the team, and I was able to do so.
You mentioned younger you may have had more difficulty with that. Was there a point where it turned for you that you said, all right, this is, I've learned to excel at this?
Yeah, for sure. It was honestly probably earlier in the year, getting traded here, realizing that, your job in the NFL, your job isn't safe anywhere you go. You got to be on your P's and Q's, and, being able to come here and play alongside great guys and learn from them. It really helped me grow as a player. I feel like I really grew mentally as a player last year, and I feel like it's going to really help me this year. I was trying to get out of 83 all year last year. 2 opened up, and I thought it would be a really cool opportunity. Thank you, guys.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Rube.
How was Jalen improved as a practice player?
Yeah, Jalen just is a guy that continues to improve. I think that's just how he's built. It's in his DNA to get better and to use, the good things that he does and get better from him, and use the bad thing, any mistake that he has to get better. That's what I always admire about him. I think he, just improves in every way. That's a great thing for your leader to have, because that's all your goal is just to continue to get better, particularly through a season. I think he just does a great job. I think he's continuing to do a good job of going through his progressions and getting to the right guy with the football and getting to his third, fourth reads. As you see, the ball doesn't hit the ground very often in practice, and that's the way you want to see it.
Talking to the players the last few days, it's clear the message of focusing on next year has gotten through. When you were deciding on that message, why did you decide to look forward instead of saying, we're going to defend our title, we are the defending Super Bowl champions?
Yeah.
What was it about going forward?
Yeah, I think that, nothing that you do in the past, now you can look back at your past experiences and learn from them, but no one, this isn't boxing where it's like you're the champ until someone takes your belt away. No, this is football. Everyone starts off 0-0. And I think 2 mistakes that you could make is, resting on your laurels or looking too far ahead, right? Thinking too much about the past, or looking too far ahead. I mean, that's been our mindset since day one, has been be where your feet are, be focused on that, because nothing that we did is going to influence anything that we want to do in the future. So it is about the daily work, regardless if you're coming off of, a 9-8 season, 14-3 season, 11-6 season, or a 14-3 season. It's the work that you put in that is going to get you ready for the games here. So we don't. Again, that's just been our mindset. I don't think anything's changed. I don't think that it's, hey, I decided to do this this year with this message. No, this has been the consistent message all the way through, and that's just where our focus is.
In terms of Jalen and how he's operating this offense, remember Kellen's deals, you really wanted to clean up the operation.
I'm sorry.
With the operation and how Jalen operates this offense, what's been kind of the mark of how you and Kevin have kind of approached that with what you're building here?
Yeah, he just goes about, again, it's about going to the right place with the ball. It's about getting everybody on the same page, right? No different than a linebacker on the other side. It runs through, he touches the ball every time, playing with good fundamentals. And, again, everything starts with his communication to the rest of the team, and then him touching the ball every time, every play. It's critical that he takes care of it, and as a runner, with the handoffs, and then also as a passer. So I think he's doing a great job of getting to the right place with the football and really running the offense. Again, we're early through it, 3 days through it, and but again, he's just going to continue to get better and better and better, and because that's in his DNA.
Jalen Carter hasn't been able to practice. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, he'll be out there today. So I'm not going to get too much into injuries or anything like that, but he'll be out there today. Looking forward to having him out there today.
Doesn't look like he's practicing. What happened there?
Bob will get you all the injury stuff. Don't have to do injuries right now. Not going to talk too much about that at this particular time. We'll look forward to getting him back out there, but was having a good start to camp. We'll see when he gets back in there.
Looks like Tyler Speed has gotten all the reps at first team right guard. Is there a plan to maybe open up the competition a little more and play anyone else in there?
Yeah, everything's a competition. We're evaluating the 2s and the 3s as of right now. It's the same way we're evaluating the 1s, and we'll see. Tyler's done a nice job so far and has worked in there with the 1s through OTAs and as training camp has started right here, and but got a lot of good pieces there that we feel like there's a good competition going on, and you guys don't get to see all the walkthroughs and some of that stuff where you mix and match guys differently, and but feel good about that competition, and Tyler's done a nice job so far.
Like Nakubo, who misses some time now, what do you need to see from him when he's not on the field?
Yeah, that's for us, we have to be very creative. Any player that misses practice reps, we have to be very creative in how we catch them up. There's a lot when you're in training camp. There's a lot of time. Every minute of everyone's day is accounted for, whether it's rest and recovery for the players, whether it's watching tape, in that time where they're resting and recovering, we're watching tape. So we have to be creative with how we do some different things. So that will be, we still get we'll look at walkthroughs as a big opportunity, extra meetings, extra focus there, extra walkthroughs with whoever we need to do that with. And so, yeah, it's our job just to make sure that anybody who misses time, they recoup those reps somehow, some way. And when they can't do it physically, it's got to be mentally in the film room and walk through. Yeah, it's good for us. We're always cautious of trying to keep the players safe in these conditions. So that's where their preparation with their hydration and different things like that and their conditioning is going to come into play. But this is good for us to be able to practice in this heat. We're going to play in this heat. Everything that we want to do as a football team, as far as how we play with physical toughness, mental toughness, relentless effort, great detail together. It all starts with being in great shape. And so we've done some things that, every day there's a conditioning aspect to it. It just turns it up a little bit as the heat goes. And, we'll monitor as we go. And but this is good for us to be able to play in conditions that we'll play in early in September and in some hot states, as early in the season goes. So we'll use this as an opportunity, all these different things you can look at. We always want to embrace adversity. And have that mindset at all times because we know that a season there's going to be ups and downs. So we'll use this as a benefit to help our team get in better shape. And, because again, like I said, it all starts with being in great shape. If we want to play the way we want to play, it starts first and foremost with being in great shape.
We see some tweaks in practice. You run that little bracket drill where the defender's underneath and over top. What's behind that and what is it designed to do?
Yeah, good question. We were talking about contested catches. Devonta Smith and I were talking about contested catches, and he brought up a drill that they used to do at Alabama, and that was a drill. So, if some of our Alabama guys had some old tape of it, was able to talk to a couple coaches that had done that. And so it started as a contested catch drill that really is a good competitive drill to make an open field tackle, whether it's on the sideline, whether it's an angle tackle out in space. We want to do ordinary better than anybody else, right? So, because those are the things that end up winning football games. I think a lot of people can get enthralled by, look at this, how this play's drawn up and that play's drawn up, and that's very important. But at the end of the day, whether it's my son's football team, it's a high school team, whether it's a college team, winning football happens with teams that tackle better, the teams that take care of the football better, the teams that block better, the teams that take the football away better, the teams that block destruct better. So we focus on doing the ordinary better. And so we were pretty good in our missed tackles last year, but we wanted to take even a bigger step. And I think, that drill started off as a thought for contested catch, but also now it's something that we know is going to help us become a better tackling team. Again, like I said, all those things are what lead to the spectacular plays that we love and see so much on it. But you can't see, like, for instance, Saquon wins the ESPY for best play last year. Well, if you watch that, Jalen gets to his 5th read. That's an ordinary thing. The blocking up front, the double team that's happening on the nose, lane one-on-one blocking on the outside, all those things contribute to that. And so we understand. We just want to do ordinary better, and that's always going to be what wins football games. We also know that when you tackle as good as us, and we did, and take away the football as good as we did, or that other teams are going to prepare for that. So we better be even better at tackling. We better be even better at taking care of the football. We better be even better at taking the football away. So those are the designs of all those different drills that we try to do and try to get better at those things, and not say, hey, we were a good tackling team, do everything the same. No, how do we get better at that? And if I want our team to continuously strive to get better, even when they're on top, like they were last year, then I better be doing the same thing as the coach. Your culture starts with your actions, and they got to see me doing the same things.
We get to see a decrease in the number of carries that Jalen has per game as a runner. Is that sustainable? Jalen Hurts carries the last first 4 years as a starter. He's had pretty much the same number of carries per game.
I think this is the same question you ask me every year.
Is it sustainable as someone who's in 27 years?
Has been so far. And we'll continue to do the things that we need to do to win the games, because I'm sure, and I'm going to say the same thing to whoever asked me that question about Saquon. We'll rest him Monday through Saturday. I mean, I feel like I've answered this question a lot. We'll rest him Monday through Saturday. We'll get him ready for the game. We'll get him ready for practices. Hey, guys. Hey, how you doing? And then we'll do what we need to do to win football games. And we're always cautious of Jalen with the schemes that we run with him to try to keep him as safe as possible. Now, it's still football, and there's still obviously a risk of injury at any time. But we're always thinking, first and foremost, when he carries the football, how do we keep that scheme safe to keep him out of harm's way?
What dictates when and how often they'll get first team snaps with Zach Long?
Yeah, open competition. We'll see how it goes. We're constantly evaluating everything. Like that tackling drill is an evaluation. The team reps, the individual, the walkthrough. We got the guys working in there right now, but that's fluid and that can always change. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But everything's being evaluated at all times. And Howie and I talk every single day. I talk with the coaches every single day. On an off day, we're having staff meetings like everybody else in the NFL to discuss our team. That's the fun part about training camp.
Is it his health right now, or his understanding of the defense?
Yeah, no, it's just where we are right now. And again, that's fluid and that can change. And again, not ready. We have a long time before I have to say, hey, this is who's the starter. We got a lot of great battles going on that are constantly being evaluated.
Find a backup center whose name is not Landon Dickerson this camp.
Yeah, I mean, Landon did a phenomenal job last year. He played as our center in the NFC Championship game, one of the biggest games, obviously, of our season, just because it was the next one and that deep into the playoffs. Again, we always look for versatility for our offensive linemen. Can they do different things? And yeah, again, just looking for these guys to get better. We don't care who the backup is here. We just have to prepare, or who all those things will play out. We got to do what's best for the team, and the best guys will play. Whether it's, if we had something happen and Landon's the center, we got a lot of confidence in him, and now we're trying to build that with other guys, and we'll see how that goes. Right. Thank you, everybody.
It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. What are you gonna bring to the doggone church? Are you gonna put somebody in their mouth? Are you gonna do your doggone job? Are you gonna pray from your doggone chest? Are you gonna pray from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Cause I'ma do that. They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got to